Nathan, NathanIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, closed fish, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real, jumping like hopscotch. Nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? Hey, yo, Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the Brits at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI, where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI, where my people at. My people at.
Broadcast with you this morning and be with you the day before what some people call Christmas or the holiday. You know, to me, it doesn't really matter. You should do with the day and the time off, whatever you want to do with it. For me, family time. I'm going to spend a bit more family time, more time with the children. My son is super excited. He woke up this morning way before the show even started, like an hour ago, came downstairs and ran and started looking at presents. And that kind of excites you as a parent because, you know, I'm a jaded adult now. I'm like, bah, humbug, presents. But seeing your children be all excited about the anticipation of getting some new toys or whatever, some stuff they asked for, and it's really exciting. 2 days ago, my son, we were all down there. My son was like, oh, Santa brought some. I said, who? He said, oh, Santa. I said, who? Who did what now? And we had a little family moment there. And I could tell I had to tell him the truth. Like, look, that's just a story that adults tell children to make them feel good. But to make the adults feel good because kids don't care. Kids don't give a damn. As long as there is something for them with their name on it, that's all they give a damn about. Stop fooling yourself. And some people who are hardcore Christians, they'll celebrate that day as the day that Jesus was born, I believe it was. That's cool. I mean, that's what you want to do with your time. You go right ahead. I'm not here to tell you to stop. Although, come on now, we already know. Let's be real. Let's be real. Good morning to you. I want to be real. Now, I'm planning, I've got enough material, and I'm planning to spend about an hour with you today. Typically go for 2 hours. But I do have some flexibility. And, of course, tomorrow is Christmas. And I plan on being back with you on Thursday at 8 a.m. And we'll chop it up the day after Christmas. I thought about doing something like Christmas morning, but you guys wouldn't listen. You don't want to hear no flows on Christmas morning. Christmas morning is sacred, although we could. I'm not sure if there's an interest for it. Who knows? Who knows? Thank you so much for listening. We got over 1,000 views with that last Is It Just Me podcast with Donnie B, episode, I believe, 21 with Joe Gilbert. See, people are really enjoying it. Many people have reached out to me about the interview and their outrage. And again, all I got to do is sit back and produce. Donnie B handled it. I think she asked all the questions that I would have asked. And I thought it was a very interesting conversation just to peel back the layer of the layer of venom, vitriol that some people use even against Trayvon Martin and his family. May Trayvon Martin rest in peace. How dare he He made a whole video. And then again, you got to watch it yourself. Just outrageous. Good morning. There's many things to talk about, but I want to talk about some things that are going on locally. I want to talk about what were the biggest. So from between now and the end of the year, I want to talk about like some of the biggest stories from Cincinnati. But from Black Cincinnati, what are some of the biggest stories in your opinion? What are some of the biggest stories here locally in Cincinnati? The Cincinnati Enquirer, that they've got their list, but that doesn't mean that has to necessarily reflect, what non-white folks or African Americans that live in Cincinnati, what you think. Well, what you mean? What you mean? I love it. I want to get your thoughts. I do have a number. I am going to share it with you, 513-873-7134. If you would like to give the show a call this morning, you might be off today. And so now you got a chance to listen to the show. Sometimes I get that on holidays. Or you might be off and therefore you're going to check out the show later. Doesn't really matter. For those who hear my voice, whether you're listening live right now at 8:19 a.m. in the Queen City, or perhaps you're listening later on today, I appreciate you for checking out the flows. And I want to get into it. I want to get into numerous things. I want to talk about Omarosa. Omarosa recently did an interview. And I like seeing Omarosa on television for various reasons. Not the least of which is the woman is dynamic. She is dynamic. And you know it's going to be good television when Omarosa is on. And she was on this she was on Sunday. She was on MSNBC on Sunday. And she was talking about Donald Trump and the impeachment. I missed that. But since then, I've caught up with the audio and the video, and I want to share it with you. She says some interesting things. Why not? She used to work in that White House. Remember, she used to be on that show Apprentice, and now they're not friends anymore after she revealed all in her book. Isn't she due for a bombshell or two? I mean, come on, I'm expecting more. Omarosa, where you at? Where you at on that? The ex-Texas policeman that killed Tatiana Jefferson has now been indicted. Remember Tatiana Jefferson? That's the sister that was in her home, and her neighbor, who was a black male, was for whatever reason he was alarmed because the door was open and he didn't see anybody moving around. So he calls a non-emergency number. An officer is brought to the scene, goes in the backyard, freaks out, shoots this woman through the window. Tatiana Jefferson. And now Aaron Dean has been indicted. It's been indicted. So, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Just looking at his face, he looks like a problem. He looks like he's got some problems. Okay, I'm just being honest with you, just looking at him. And this case, everyone's going to be watching as this case goes forward. They want to see what's going to happen with this man, and will justice be found? Or will he be exonerated? We will find out, but that is the next step. He has been indicted. His name, again, is Aaron Dean. Remember that guy? Yeah, idiots, man. What can you say? Very, very sad. Very sad. Shot this woman. She was chilling with like her niece or her nephew. They're playing video games. She hears something in the backyard, gets her weapon, as anybody should, to protect himself. This fool shoots through the window and kills her. Shoots through the window and kills her. And people try to blame her neighbor. Like, oh, this black man shouldn't have called the police. Okay. That's a stretch right there. That's like a Stretch Armstrong, Mr. Plastic Man stretch. That's what's a Fantastic Four stretch right there? What is it? Dr. Reed, Richard Reed, or whatever his name. The leader of the Fantastic Four, who could stretch himself to like superhuman, proportions. That's the kind of leap and stretch it is to blame this black man. I blame the officer that showed up and overreacted. As simple as that. Nothing more to it. 513-873-7134. I see there's a brand new movie coming out soon with the brothers in it, right? It's got Jamie Foxx is in it. You know what I'm saying? It's got Killmonger in it. I don't care whatever he does. He's Killmonger moving forward. And just like I'm sick of slave movies, I'm kind of sick of the whole black inmate, movie. Although I think those stories need to be told, I'm sick of that storyline too. Somebody posted here, see, Colin Kaepernick's Nike platform grows with a new shoe. I don't really like that shoe. The whole Colin Kaepernick, we got the afro. I get it. I'm not a sneakerhead. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? They look okay. I guess if I was rocking like a Colin Kaepernick shirt or something like that, then you want to get the Colin Kaepernick Nikes. Okay, I can understand that, but I don't feel compelled to run out and get that at all. Not one bit. Some people say he's selling out because he's selling shoes. Could be. Brother Muzone writes, good morning. Good to see you, brother. Brother Muzone. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Hey, Majestic's in the house. Writes, good morning, folks. Mila J writes, I will listen tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow. Work normally as scheduled. Really? Damn. Mila J's in the house. Is that right? Okay. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. I'm loving the avatar. Let me check out this avatar, Ashley. That is so cute. That is so cute. The whole family there. That is beautiful. Love to see it. Love it. Love it. That's a great avatar. Mike Jones writes, good morning, Choppers. Happy holidays. Same to you, Mike Jones. Crystal's in the house. She writes, good morning. How you doing, Crystal? How you and your family doing? Thoughts and prayers to you. Meyer Wolfsheim writes, Merry motherfucking Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. It's the third day. Rest in peace to my friend Jay Gatsby. L'chaim to the alt middle. Brother Mazone writes, the neighbor who called the police to do a welfare check wasn't when it wasn't needed. Is he going to be charged for being a nosy-ass idiot? No, he's not going to be charged. That man should not be charged. He's probably just he's probably somewhere drinking, dealing with his own sorrows, drinking himself to death or whatever. You know how people try to self-medicate when they feel like, something happened and it was their fault? You have no idea the hell that man's putting himself through. Because he's got to be asking himself, if I never called the police, then the Tatiana Jefferson would probably be still alive today. And that's a damn bad thing to have to say. But, I think that's probably how he would look at it. That's how I might look at it if it was me. So he's going to beat himself up enough, I'm sure, unfortunately. What is this? One man's I'm not ready is another man's I knew from the start. Oh, boy. Marry that woman, Tracy posted, right? I'm going back a couple days here. I know. One man's I'm not ready is another man's I knew from the start. Let me click on this shit and see what's going on. I feel like we can curse because all your kids should not be in school. But you might be taking them to daycare today. Okay, sorry about that. There it is. What is this? Oh, my gosh. Anytime. I got to turn this off. I'm sorry. blacklove.com. I love that. I'm down with the website. I love the website. But no. You can say the same thing for when a woman's not ready. I mean, we make these assumptions about relationships like every woman is ready to be in a relationship. That ain't true. You got a lot of people that think they're ready for being in relationships, but it's for all the damn wrong reasons. They get in a relationship and realize it. Damn, let brothers live. Let them live, man. Damn. Yeah, leave them brothers alone. Oh, I like that. What is this right here? Oh, okay. Maybe not. I don't like that. Brother Mazone writes, Maya Wolfstein writes, a professional Negro led Tatiana Jefferson to her death. Stop being fooled by that non-emergency number narrative. Professional Negroes lack foresight. Common sense would have told his dumb ass not to call. John #Glories is in the house. On this date in 1987, Larry Bird hit a three-pointer in front of the Indiana Pacers bench before running to the other end of the court. Bird turned to the Pacers bench and said, Merry effing Christmas. Is that right? CJ writes, good morning, all. Sharps in the house writes, good morning on this foggy Christmas Eve. Yeah, I haven't driven. I mean, my street, not too much fog at all, but I haven't driven around this morning. So, yeah, the weather's been reporting it. I haven't seen it. But is that what's up, huh? Okay. No problem with that. No snow, but, it is what it is. Some people want white Christmases. You want a white Christmas, meaning that you want snow. But because of climate change, you'll probably just get sludge. That's about it. That's hilarious. Squatters' rights. What's up, CJ? They are low-top Air Force Ones with his face on them. Not my particular style of shoes, but go and get that money, Kate. If they are going to keep you out of the league, folks going to buy regardless because we are the biggest consumers of bull you-know-what, are we? And when you say we, what do you mean by we? This generation or black people? Another critique of black folks, huh? Is that what it is? I mean, you tell me. You tell me. I'd like to hear it. For those who are interested, and perhaps you've missed the first couple of opportunities to check out the Trainer, I do know that they're going to do another Trainer event, another follow-up because of the overwhelming support for it and demand for it this coming up weekend. I'm going to post a link on my Facebook page, inside the Friends page, and inside the Chop Shop this morning. So if you're interested, at least you'll have the most relevant information. All right? And do your due diligence. Black folks, especially the younger generation, oh boy. Is that right? I bet you it's a bunch of white kids that's buying those Colin Kaepernick shoes. Because all they really did was, like you said, take the Air Force Ones and repurpose them. That's all they did. They probably had a bunch of them laying around and decided, you know what? Let's move these. And that's it. Nothing more than that. Let me give you some news that you can actually find interesting or use. And we now know that everybody's favorite black male defense attorney, Clyde Bennett, is now able to do what he do now. He's off of suspension. He spent his year, and it seemed like it flew by. And, of course, now he is the defense attorney for Lashia Willis, who prosecutors are saying was basically just like a monster. This is coming from Forest Park, Ohio, out where Tracy, perhaps some of you folks, other folks, live out in the Forest Park area. I lived out there for quite a bit of time. And anyway, so prosecutors are saying that this black woman killed her father to, take over his house or his estate. Now, apparently her father was a retired Cincinnati police officer. Quote, she planned to kill him and take over the mortgage on his home. She stabbed him repeatedly until he died. That was Prosecutor David Wood in court just yesterday. And apparently, this woman was moving her belongings into her father's Forest Park home when police made a welfare check and found his body. Her attorney, Clyde Bennett, says that whole story is a complete fabrication. Now, I first became aware of this story over the weekend, last week when it was first reported, and the headlines were just as I said. It was put out there that prosecutors or whoever, the story was that she killed her father because I guess she wanted to take over his estate. And let's be real here, elderly abuse, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. You got older folks, they get older, and they end up being abused by their daughters, by their family. We'll just say family. Okay, sons, whoever. And it's sad. It happens in our community. I don't know if that's what this case is. Now, Clyde Bennett's in the news saying that the whole thing was made up. He said he's been doing his own investigation, and the house doesn't even have a mortgage on it. Quote, you have a woman who's a pretty good woman for 49 years of her life, and all of a sudden they claim that she woke up and took a knife and started stabbing her father. That's asinine to me, and it doesn't make sense. Well, the way he put it, he's right. It doesn't make sense. Apparently, this woman, Lashia Willis, has no history of mental illness and no criminal history whatsoever. So no history, no criminal history whatsoever, no history of documented mental illness. And this is a cul-de-sac crime, one of the cul-de-sacs over in Forest Park. and lived in a nice house on a cul-de-sac. Apparently he was well known and loved by the people in the neighborhood. Now she's got a $1 million bond. And the case is going to go to court again later this month on December the 31st. And a grand jury will be released at the time. That's just from the article I'm reading here on WCPO. So what the hell really went on? And how would prosecutors know that quickly that she planned to take over the mortgage on his home? And do you have to kill somebody in order to take over the mortgage from their home? What's that all about? And is it true that she was moving her belongings into the house? Like if she was moving her belongings into the house when police did the welfare check, that does sound pretty suspicious. And it's just like your dad is dead over here? Was there a fight? I don't know. Let's go to the phones. I see Tracy's on the line. Good morning, Tracy.
Hey, Nathan, it's Tracy. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm calling because that's my family. That was my cousin. I'm not going to get on here and just talk a whole lot about it like I'm the spokesman for the family, because I'm not. It was my stepfather's family, but I definitely knew Skip, the deceased. I had never met his daughter. According to some, a lot of people didn't know that, she existed. There was a Facebook post that was inboxed to me yesterday where somebody was saying that she was raised by an entirely different family, because my stepfather didn't even know that he had a daughter. That's a whole nother chapter in the book, obviously. But it's just mind-boggling to me that all of this happened, and especially the way that it happened. But what I don't understand, because I did see Clyde speak in court, what I don't understand is why she would admit to it if that's not the story. What I'm thinking, and it might come out later, I don't know if it's true or not, that she may have had help, because I can't see how a woman, and especially looking at her stature, again, I never met her, looking at her stature, it doesn't look like she could overpower any man, because she's a pretty petite young lady from what I see. But Skip, James Dunlap, I'm sorry if I'm starting to pause. This fog is kind of dense. I'm driving through the fog. Skip was not a sickly, old, feeble man, so it wasn't like that. But the whole thing is just crazy to me that somebody would just say, I want to take over your mortgage and show up on your front door and enter your home and kill you. And, his wife was out of town from what I understand, and she couldn't get in touch with him. So she did send Forest Park Police out there to do a wellness check. And they found him down in the basement wrapped up in a rug or carpet. So it's just really sad, especially when you spend all of that time serving the community, protecting and serving, and then you get killed by one of your own. It's just truly sad. But keep our family in your prayers.
Absolutely. So this woman was sort of an estranged daughter. She wasn't like in his life on a regular basis?
I'm not sure, but from the Facebook post that I received yesterday, it sounded like she was raised by somebody else. She wasn't raised by him.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
all right.
I don't know. We all have family stories and family secrets, so I don't know.
All right, Tracy. Well, thank you for sharing that information. I appreciate it.
All right, you have a good one.
Yeah, most definitely. And be safe in that fog. Hands free, hopefully. Get you one of those things like the Uber drivers have. And, you can do like a suction cup on the inside of the glass and just put your phone there, put it on speaker. And depending on the model and the intricacies of your car, a lot of them, if you connect it with a USB cord, not only will some of these modern cords allow you to charge, but it'll allow you to connect to the speaker system. You can talk directly hands-free, just hands-free. Hands-free, there it is. Damn, that's sad. Found him down in the basement, wrapped up in a carpet, like out of a movie. And it's a sad situation right there. I did not know. I mean, I know that Tracy's in Forest Park. I know that, but I didn't know she would be that close to the family. I mean, thoughts and prayers and condolences go out. You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. Now, what does that mean exactly? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what happens? What really went down? Perhaps we'll never know. But Clyde Bennett says that whole story is just completely made up. And, you know, you can be mentally ill and not have it documented anywhere because you just never got any help for it. You know, I'm not speaking on this particular case because I don't know these people, but I mean, yeah. You got a lot of people out there with no records whatsoever, and they are menaces to society. They just ain't been caught yet. They just ain't been caught yet, you know, haven't been caught. Out there, a straight menace. But good morning. Welcome to the show. 513-873-7134 if you'd like to share your thoughts. I see Ray and Angela in the house. Good morning to you. Mason Marler's in the house. Good morning to you. Drop writes, good morning, Choppers. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from Arizona. Are you in Arizona now? Good you. Traveling? You out here traveling? We were just talking with Tracy about the case of Leisha Willis. Prosecutors are saying that she is a quote-unquote monster because she conspired to basically steal a home, I don't know how it was going to work, from her father. And prosecutors say she stabbed him over and over again. Her defense, as you would expect, is saying this is asinine, quote-unquote. Why would she do this? No record, no history of mental health issues. Why would she just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to stab my father? I never know, man. Never know. You just never know. Can't speak on it. My question to you is, what is the biggest stories of Cincinnati from the Black perspective? What are the biggest stories in Cincinnati in particular? And, you know, for the next couple of days or so, I'll be talking about that, but also he's talking about, you know, the culture at large, right? Talking about the country and some of the biggest stories that we talked about. And we'll chop it up. We'll definitely chop it up. All right. Okay. Hold on. I like that. Okay, that is nice. Where is that at? Nice. Huh? Oh, man, what the hell? That is crazy. Why is she out of the blue moving into a house with a dead body? That was my question. My question is, that seems kind of strange for you to be moving into a house where there's a dead body and you haven't called authorities and said a damn thing. That looks pretty suspicious. Right? That looks pretty suspicious. It's like, well, yeah, I was going to call about that. What? Strange. Very strange. Yeah, that fog is dense. I was out in there early this morning. It looks like a horror movie. Really? Brother Mazon writes, yeah, if she did it, she had to have had help. Meyer Wolfsheim writes, what's up with all the crime in Warren County? There's been several shootings up there in the last 3 weekends. I don't know. I do not know. I cannot answer that question. I am sorry. I don't know what's going on. I know something's going on with the white family that we never talk about, but I don't know what's going on in Warren County. I can't tell you that. What? What is that? What is this? Russian collusion proven false. Trump involvement even with falsified data to spy on a campaign false. Obstruction false. Ukraine bribery false. Quid pro quo false. Abuse of power, LOL. Okay, what abuse? This is Michael Egan inside the chop shop. I guess he's making the case that Trump is what? He's being persecuted? Is that what the case is? Please. Andy Dalton slams happy Bengal fans after team secures number 1 draft pick with loss to the Dolphins. Andy Dalton needs to stop. It's over with, Andy. Avondale kids receive free bikes thanks to community efforts. 200 Avondale kids got an early gift this holiday season. Really? I like that. Why Simone Sanders went from Bernie to Biden. Oh, did she? Is it cheaper to get engaged or buy a house in Cincinnati? I thought this was really interesting. I saw this last night. I thought this was a very interesting story. Is it cheaper to get engaged or to buy a home? This goes back to my point about spending a lot of money on rings. Why would you spend $5,000 on a wedding ring? I mean, now if you come from money and you got it like that, cool. But if you're working class, if you first generation, whatever, that $5,000 could be used for the down payment on something that will probably serve you a lot better. And that's a home. Yeah. What they found is that based on the national average, that about $5,900 nationally, that's the national average on an engagement ring. $5,900. Also, according to his report, the median home price in Cincinnati is $870,000. A 3% down payment is equal to $5,625, which is less than the national average. So it's actually cheaper in Cincinnati to put 3% down on a home worth $187,000. If you had a choice between doing either or, what do you think the smart financial move would be, if you're getting married? To spend $5,900 on a ring? Or $5,600 on a 3% down payment on a home? I know what I would choose. It's not even close. Queen City is number 8 among cities in the nation where an engagement ring costs the same as a down payment on a home, which goes back to what I said before. People are moving to Cincinnati and investing in the city because of the relatively low cost. And because of development and the way things are being impacted, the city is wide open now. I mean, there's developments happening in places that you don't even know about. And it's all happening simultaneously. And that's because young people love Cincinnati. They love the breweries. They love the nightlife. They love the river. They love the elevation of the hills. They love the distinctness of the different neighborhoods. They love the fact that if you've got a car, you can get to anywhere in the greater Cincinnati area in 30 minutes. And I mean anywhere, including to the fucking airport, and leave. You can leave Cincinnati. You can get to anywhere in 30. If you have a car and you have money, all of greater Cincinnati is your oyster. And it don't cost a whole lot. Okay? But of course, there are some barriers for a lot of people out there. And that's why people are choosing Cincinnati over and over again. They love the nightlife. They love going down to OTR. They love the fact that Covington is right over the river. They love all this stuff, man. They love it. And that's why there's developments happening over all the Queen City. You name it. Development is happening because people want to come to Cincinnati and live, right? You got various colleges. You got Fortune 500 companies. You got pretty much whatever you're looking for. You can pretty much find whatever you're looking for in Cincinnati. And people like that. I didn't know that. $5,900 is the national average for a engagement ring. Huh. Wow. All righty. Okay, then. Brother Muzon writes, the biggest story and unfortunate ongoing unless story between 19 and Cincinnati is the infamous Gang of Five saga. Yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest stories. That's definitely one of the big stories. I mean, to me, Tracy Hunter's number 1. The Gang of Five is there somewhere, 2, 3. If we're going to talk about generally in Cincinnati, I think the Ohio Kings is a big news story and happening in the city of Cincinnati. I think, I think that the Black-owned coffee shop is a big story in Cincinnati, and all the energy and, surrounding what those brothers are doing with that black-owned brand. I think the Bengals are a big story. The fact that Marvin left and the team tanked, I think that's a big story. I think one of the biggest untold stories is the fact that, we have a mayor who has not really successfully put a dent in childhood poverty the way that he said he was. I think that's one of the biggest story, that with all this development, with all this money in this area, that we still have a huge, huge child poverty issue. And overwhelmingly, the color of the children who are poor are black. So that's one of the biggest untold stories. Continues to be a book story. I think the movements that are being made to support a better bus system, this year is a big story as well. I think, having the two brothers, Gabe and Fanon, vying for the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office, I think that's big. Okay, I think that's going to be really big. It's a big story. Think what else? Again, I asked, what good happened to directly benefit Black Cincinnati? Which biggest stories in Black Cincinnati had niggers coming out on top? See here. Let me think. Let me go back here a little bit as I look here, and I want to go back to, and you can't really, well, you could do this, but you don't have to because I'm going to do it now. But I'm going to go back and look at some of the headlines. I mean, I would say, the Ohio Kings come to mind. See. That's a damn good question, Angela. I mean, I'm struggling right here. Do you have anything that might fit? I mean, I'm sure there are some examples that didn't get a lot of headlines, but it escapes me right now. Angela, now you know the answer to your own question, LOL. Black Cincinnati got displaced due to a whirlwind of gentrification throughout the city. That is why that is what they benefited from. I mean, it's hard to argue against what you're saying, especially when you talk about, the West End. I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what would those successes be? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a damn shame. Angela writes, weed law, that's a plus for Black Cincinnati. Okay, great. I agree with you. Right. I knew we could find something, a weed law. So perhaps less black men and black people in general are going to be stopped and harassed, because of weed. Although it's still happening, isn't it? On some levels. Cedric Denson's in the house. He writes, good morning. Hey, good to see you, Cedric Denson. Trying to figure out, Brother Mazon writes, the black taste. I think that the black taste is an example of, successful entrepreneurs, Shout out to J. Raj. I mean, thousands upon thousands of people, albeit a lot of them are they come from outside the city, come to Cincinnati to enjoy that. Let me see. I don't know. That's a really good question. I mean, what would be the successes specifically for the black community in 2019? What are some of the biggest stories in 2019? Mike Jones writes, you walk into a boardrooms and corporate offices in this city and all you see are white people, but we're 50% of the city. Hard to get kids out of poverty in that circumstance. I'm just saying, I think that was a big failure. The Black Boule marched in front of a judge's house showing that they can read song lyrics and understand their rights to peacefully assemble. To peaceable assembly. Okay, I get it. You said that was the Black Boule? Huh. I thought it was Tracy Hunter supporters. Huh. Brother Mazon writes, I'm talking about the West End specifically. Okay, I get you. Drop writes, Black America is no longer waiting for the Democrats to drive them to the bank while the other buses are passing them by. Angela writes, I started a business and looking to launch one or two more in 2020. I love that. Beautiful. That was the question mark, Nate. We really don't know the numbers from the Black Taste Weekend. Sharp writes, becoming a homeowner is my highlight of the year. That's a beautiful thing. For me, of course, it would be the continuation of the Nathan Ivey show. The continuation of Sin Digital Media, producing other shows, elevating black voices. Let me see. Sharp Rights becoming, that's big. That's big. That's big. I mean, what if we could increase the home ownership percentage inside the black community? Would that have a significant impact on childhood poverty? It might. It may. It may. Hey, listen, if you are not on Instagram, or if you are and we are not connected, let's connect. Nathan from Cincy, I'm on Instagram. I'm going to be posting more and more content. A lot of content will be like media content, but some personal stuff as well. Okay? What is this? Daryl. Oh, I saw this, Daryl. I saw this. Yeah, this is going back to October with Kenneth Copeland. He just posted this a couple days ago. Yeah, he needs a private jet so he can do God's work. Yes. Because God needs him to have a jet. That's a great piece about Ray Ball. Self-made Bond Hill entrepreneur has become one of the city's most influential creatives. Yeah, shout out to Ray Ball. Let me see here. What's that now? Oh, is that right? Oh, okay. Somebody's been working out. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Dominique, for the likes. I appreciate the shares. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a damn shame, Reggie. A $9 theft has imprisoned a man since 1982. Black man in Alabama. I guess they had like some kind of, truth in sentencing laws or 3 strikes and you're out. He's been sitting in prison over a $9 theft. Is that right? Yeah, here it is. Cincinnati poverty rate still worse than U.S. as a whole. To me, that represents a failure of current leadership. I mean, this is a failure of the mayor because the mayor said, Mayor John Cranley said that he was going to lift thousands upon thousands of kids from the darkness of poverty, and he hasn't done it. Quote, it's almost 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Cincinnati and Hamilton County still have much higher rates of child poverty than the U.S. as a whole. Now, how is that possible? The latest American Community Survey estimates that more than 40% of children in the city of Cincinnati, more than 26,000 kids, live below the federal poverty level, which means the number's higher than that. Because if you're anywhere near the federal poverty level, you're basically impoverished. So, we keep building these sports cathedrals and we're going to have concert venues on the banks. That's all great. They got a Ferris wheel on the banks now and all this great development. But why is it not trickling down to lift these children from poverty? Yeah, I mean, in terms of Cincinnati, I look at this as a failure of the mayor because the mayor said that he was going to attack this. It's going to be a number one issue. And I mean, I don't know what the successes are. I'm sure he can sing his own praises. But to me, I don't see how we've put a dent in it in what way. Look at this. Cincinnati, 40%. Hamilton County, 23%. So the childhood poverty rate, and again, for me, this is the most salient issue. If we're not lifting children from poverty, then what's the point of any of this? What's the point of any of this? What's the point of any of this? There is no point. It's just about making money then. It can't always be just about making money. At some point, it's got to be about lifting. It's got to be about helping people that really need to be helped. You got these politicians, man, that's run around kissing the ass of developers like we got to help them when you got children impoverished. So my question is this, and you can say it's fair or unfair, but I'm going to ask the same question I asked before City Council decided to move forward, with the Banks Project. I'm sorry, not with the Banks Project, but with the FC Cincinnati Project, is how is that going to impact childhood poverty? That was my question then, and that's my question now. It should be a citywide disgrace. This is a citywide disgrace. It is. Shout out to the good folks over at Queen Village, because they're dealing with this as well, right? They are. Not from a poverty standpoint, but from the standpoint of, the way that black mothers are getting the type of treatment, the type of medical care that expectant black mothers are getting here in the Cincinnati area, and the impact that has on the infant mortality rate. It's all connected. See here, we just kind of do these obligatory. I always got to talk to somebody from the food store and Bethany House, and I get it. Yeah. But obviously, it's deeper than that. I don't know. What do you think? 513-873-7134. Is it unfair to put it all on the mayor? I mean, he is the mayor of Cincinnati. Meyer Wolfsheim writes, the big black guy from United Way exposed the treachery intimidating black men go through in the workplace in dealing with white women underlings. You're talking about, was it Coleman was his last name? Can't remember the brother's name, but right, he was the United Way CEO, and it didn't end so well. It didn't end so well. And I think he went back to, it wasn't Coleman, it was Johnson. It was Michael Johnson was his name. People said great things about him, and then he was gone. He did a news interview in which he talked about subtle threats in a hostile work environment. Yeah, I believe all that stuff is real. I believe them 100%. What's changed over at United Way since then? Because I'm bringing it up. Man, Michael Johnson, not good. That was not a good look for the United Way. What's changed? I mean, there was some conversation. I know that Tamaya Denard put forth an idea that would remove the United Way from being the person or the entity responsible for doling out, nonprofit dollars. But I don't know if that got passed by city council. It must not have, because we haven't heard anything about it. But what does that mean exactly? I don't know. That was last year's problem anyway. Brother Mazone writes, my highlight of this year is my son being born healthy and strong and growing stronger every day, and has been a blessing. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Got a fine looking boy too. Angela writes, trying to get my daughter to sit or get off the pot with hers. She's ready to benefit, but not put in the sweat equity or work hard. Angela writes, I am interested to see how much black businesses benefit from the black taste too. Yeah. Well, we know they benefited because we just don't. Again, I think we talked about this, right? We already know that the lion's share of the money goes to the hotels. Now, how do we know that? Well, we know that because, I talked to Jason Dunn on these airwaves, and I asked him that question, and that's what he said. And it makes sense. Like, the big money is not going to black folks. We already know that. Because the big money is the hotel. That's where the big money is, right? People got to stay in a hotel somewhere. Ray writes, who out here believe Cranley? Meyer Wolfsheim writes, Nathan, stop. That guy in Atlanta committed 3 prior felonies before trying to strong-arm somebody. Just because you strong-arm somebody and only get $9, that's your problem for not having bigger targets. I have no sympathy for the guy. I have sympathy for the guy. I mean, come on. We talking about $9? Come on, man. Come on now. Mike Jones writes, black empowerment starts with self-love. It dropped. If I'm in love with the other, I won't spend with people who look like me. That's what Dr. Umar says. Dealing with a tragic death. Angela writes, Mason Mahler writes, dealing with a tragic death, weathering the personal storm while helping my children cope with our new reality was my biggest accomplishment. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only thing you have left. blessed with no stress in 2020. Angela writes, black coffee is a big story in 2019. Jesse writes, Canadian company buying Cincinnati Bell. And yeah, I saw that, and I'm not happy about it because Cincinnati Bell made a pledge that they were going to respect your net neutrality rights. And now they've been acquired by another company that has never made that type of commitment to the Cincinnati area. Yeah, so maybe they can finally get their internet services right. So Cincinnati Bell is no longer Cincinnati Bell. Brookfield Infrastructure Partners and a $2.6 billion deal. Why is this important? This is important because, what percentage of Cincinnati gets their internet from Cincinnati Bell? Just think about that. Is this new company going to honor your net neutrality rights the way Cincinnati Bell did? They're going to be acquired by a Toronto-based company. $2.6 billion deal. The deal is set to close by the end of 2020. And then we'll probably see some changes in your services. Will it cost you more? Will it cost you less? Is Cincinnati Bell finally going to put fiber optics all over the city the way it needs to be? And from what I'm reading here, preliminarily, they're saying they're going to increase their fiber optics capability, which is great. But are they going to respect your net neutrality rights? We don't know. Find out together. Angela writes, Paul Cincy will be a collective of black businesses opening in 2020. Okay. Yeah, man. Drop writes, both political parties will find out the hard way that they can no longer control the narrative through the lamestream media. You still using these old tired phrases. Like him or hate him, Trump has shown that the internet is the way to bypass the media and speak directly to the people. Hashtag reach one, teach one. Is that right? Is that right? Okay. Okay, that's nice. I love it, man. There's a lot of energy around Cincinnati right now. I absolutely love it. You see here, somebody writes, Champions of Change started at UW. They're kicking off that program. Tony Hewdy writes, learning my little boy is on the autism spectrum and educating myself on the subject and his gifts as our new normal in 2019. Is that right? Wow. I didn't know that, man. Like I said, people are dealing with all incredible things. You never know what somebody's dealing with in their family. And, man, some of that stuff can be very difficult, very difficult. But that's real life, though. That's real life. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Okay, so what's the deal for tomorrow? Are we Christmas people? I think tomorrow's the day off for the show. And then I'll be back with you on Thursday morning at 8 a.m., the day after Christmas, and we'll chop it up. Okay? I want you to have an excellent day, and I'll talk with you real soon. Again, today, I just want to be on for just an hour today, and I'll catch up with you real soon. We'll talk on Thursday, not tomorrow, which is Christmas. And enjoy your Christmas holiday. Enjoy doing great things for the young people in your life, and take some time to chill. And yes, you can invite me to the Christmas party. I'm down. Hit me up. Have an excellent day, and we'll talk real soon. I'm out.